Good morning, friends. Today we honor Saint Ignatius of Antioch, who was a bishop in the first century. He loved Christ, and his love for Christ was so profound that he wound up dying for it. So he's a great martyr in the church. He's a bishop martyr. Ignatius lived in, again, the first century. He was one of the disciples of the apostles after Christ, so he would have known some of the apostles personally, and he shepherded the church in Antioch. He was arrested later on for his faith, and he was condemned to be thrown to wild animals in the Roman Colosseum. So his death was public, well known, and quite brutal. During his journey going to Rome, it's kind of neat because they tried to break him out. They tried to convince him to run away because they were planning a coup, and he told them, no, don't do that. You know, I think he was an old man at this time, maybe in his 80s, late 70s. He wanted that death, and he chose it. So he, in the process of being arrested in Antioch, being dragged to Rome under arrest, he wrote several letters. And you can look them up. They're beautiful. They're powerful. I invite you to read them and as a reflection. It gives you a very different perspective of how things were in first century, 100 years after Christ died. So some of the apostles, lived to an age. Antioch, through Polycarp and maybe John the Evangelist, John the youngest apostle, the beloved of Jesus. I believe that is the connection. But yeah, those letters reveal his love and desire, and he was completely captivated by Christ. He said, "I am God's wheat." He wrote that he was looking forward to his bones being crushed by the teeth of animals, and so that he could become more. That he could become the pure bread of Christ. So he got real romantic about his upcoming martyrdom and death, and these aren't someone seeking death as much as seeking, the good of the church, and that he knew his death would blossom into more souls saying yes to Christ and the church growing. They understood back then in the first century how the blood of the martyrs was the seed of the church. So when he said that, it really took off, and his devotion to him and what he was doing really grew, strengthened other Christians, and this was right in the heart of the persecutions and martyrdoms from Diocletian to Nero, and many thousands of Christians died during that time. What does he teach us? Well, authentic faith isn't measured by comfort, but by commitment. He reminds us that being Christian means more than just attending Mass, but means to willingly bear witness to Christ in all circumstances. Are we willing to sacrifice our life, our status, our place for the faith, for Christ, like Ignatius did? When you're facing martyrdom, I don't know, maybe I'd chicken out. I try to think about it once in a while. I think it's fair to, in a spirituality, to at least think about where your faith and love is. Are you willing to die for your faith? Oh, that's a hard thing to really reflect on, but it's also very Christian. His martyrdom, is around 100, 107. And it stands as a reminder that Christ is worth everything if we give it to him, and it's for the church. And so may his courage. Look up Ignatius of Antioch, read up his story. He was thrown to the lions, and he was willing to do it joyfully. That says a lot about his martyrdom. God bless, and see you at Mass.